Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today, I am going to be showing you guys my full coverage drugstore foundation routine. I have found some products recently that are just bomb. They cover everything. I don't need to like pack on a bunch of products in order to get a really good full coverage look, a matte look, because I do have oily skin, and they are all drugstore products. So I'm going to show you guys from primer to like powder, foundation, powder, you know, all of that stuff, concealer, and then I will show you guys the rest of my face like after. I'll just tell you guys what I did. I'm not gonna like go through and do everything because I really want this video to just be so focused on the foundation routine. Now, obviously, as you guys can see, I don't have perfect skin. I definitely struggle with breakouts on a regular basis. I go to the dermatologist and stuff like that. It's just been something I've always dealt with. My dad had really bad acne back in the day when he was a little bit younger. And so I think it's just a hereditary thing. And unfortunately, this is what I deal with. I would say this area tends to be where I break out the most, and it's always been that way. I've broken out ever since I was in like the 6th grade, and I'm now 25, and it's just something I've been consistently dealing with. So anyways, this is just my face. I don't think you need to wear makeup even if your face looks like this. This is just humans, and this is what happens. And so if you want to go makeup free and you look like this, go for it, girl. But I love makeup because it's fun. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start off with is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Mattifying Primer. I absolutely adore this stuff. I've been using it consistently ever since I got it. And to be honest, I'm almost out of it, which is really crazy. But it is like a milky type of primer. And what I like to do is really focus this in my T-zone because, like I said, I do have oily skin. So I like to make sure that I'm pretty matte. But I don't get like really oily like on the outside of my face. It really is just in the center. So, and I feel like that's typical for most people. We don't really get oily like out here. We just kind of, you know. Anyways, okay. So now my face is like super red because I was just moving stuff around. But now for foundation. Now I used to say like I would cover these blemishes up with some green concealer to kind of color correct before going in with foundation. But with this foundation, I don't even have to do that. This is the Maybelline SuperStay foundation, the 24-hour full coverage. Love this stuff so much. If you are looking for a full coverage drugstore foundation, definitely check this out. I wear the shade 112 Natural Ivory, and it does come with a pump. So I just put, I don't know, maybe 3 pumps on the back of my hand. And lately, I have been loving doing my foundation and concealer with brushes. It's so funny. I used to totally be like just into sponges, but now I'm back on the brush train. So this is from Real Techniques. I'm not sure like what collection or if it's still available. It's just kind of, it's a foundation brush that does have some movement, so it's not really densely packed, which I like because it doesn't look really streaky. So I just sort of start like, I kind of push and then drag just a little. And I just do really short little motions. And I make sure to take it all the way down, you know, the neck and a little bit on the ears because you don't want a line. Even though this foundation is a really good match for me, you can still kind of tell like the textures are different and, you know, the colors are probably slightly different. So as you guys can see, I'm not just going like this all over my face. I'm doing very short little strokes because I find that that offers the most coverage and it looks the least streaky. And I always do the areas that I need the most coverage first. So I get like kind of the most product there on, you know, my blemishes and stuff like that. And just on my cheek and my nose area. Because again, that's where I need the most coverage. So that's where I want the most product to go. And then I'll just take whatever's left, and I just do circular motions on my forehead, you know, unless I have some breakouts up there, which for some reason I used to have maybe about a year ago. I had way more breakouts on my forehead, whereas now it's so down here in the chin area. And then I just sort of stamp everything. And if I have any excess product on the back of my hand, I'll just stamp some more just on blemished areas. So, you know, because I don't go in with concealer with this foundation because there's just not a need to. But I do like a little extra coverage in those areas. Just on the nose, make sure everything's covered. It's just foundation. Like these blemishes, this is just amazing. It covers up just so well. I get just surprised every time I use it. Now for under my eyes, I'm going to go in with just a peach corrector. I love the Catrice Camouflage Cream and Wake Up Effect. Any peach corrector that you like, if you need this step. Some people don't. I am just one of the lucky ones that has dark circles. So I like to just add this first, kind of like a little first step. I just do a little bit. I don't do a ton because you don't need a lot. And then I'm going to go in with the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This stuff, I did a full video comparing this to this Tarte Shape Tape. I absolutely love it, but I almost kind of feel like I'm running out of it already. But this is a really full coverage concealer. So I just sort of take it down like the center and then right under the eye. But I don't do like all in this area because I just find for every day, I don't need all that concealer. I just like to do this and then one stripe. And then when I blend it out, because this is a really full coverage concealer, when I blend it out, it does kind of fill in that area. Does that make sense? This is a Wet n Wild brush. It's their like angled, this was a part of their holiday set, but they do have these brushes now. I think they're like a rose gold handle. But they are beautiful and I love this one. It's like the angled one with the little dip. This is really good for concealer. I like to just, so again, I kind of do the same motions as I do my foundation. Just like press and drag a little. I don't try to smear the product or stretch it a lot. I just sort of tap and do little dragging motions. Okay, and now if I feel like I need to, I'll take just my foundation brush again and just sort of blend over the edges, like where that concealer was, just so it doesn't look like super harsh. You know what I mean? Now to set the under eyes, I'm gonna take this Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. If you have fair skin and you want a banana powder that works for you, this one is amazing. It is so brightening. It is so smooth. And this is a Milani brush. This is actually, I think for highlighting, but I like it to set the under eye area. And this concealer doesn't require a lot of setting with it because it is kind of a drier formula. So I don't like to set it a lot. I know I look like I'm going back and forth a lot, but really I'm just getting a little powder at a time. I'm not getting a bunch of powder all at once, you know? It's just not really necessary to like bake with this or anything like that, just because it is a drier formula. And now just to highlight kind of the center or, you know, down the nose, I just take a little bit of this powder and it adds it like some dimension to the nose, but without having to like strictly contour and, you know, all that. I like to make sure I just really press it up underneath the eyes one last time to make sure that that area is set. And now to set the entire face with powder, I'm going to take this Youthful Wear Physicians Formula powder in translucent and it's in the matte finish. They have an illuminating one and a matte one. Again, I have oily skin, so I like to use the matte one. It says it's translucent. I do think it has a little bit of a tint to it. And then I take this Wet n Wild brush. It's very similar to the Real Techniques one I used, except it's a little fluffier. It's not as, this one's a little bit smaller and a little bit more like densely packed. This one is a little bit more fluffy. And I like to take a denser powder brush like this, and I just like to press it into the areas that I really want to set first, which, you know, is definitely the center of the face, kind of where we put the primer in the beginning. and around the nose. This powder, you guys, oh my gosh, it's so, so good because it doesn't add a lot of extra like cakiness to the skin, but it does keep you so matte all day. I really like to hit right here because this for me is where I get super oily, and on the chin as well. Upper lip. All right, and then I just sort of drag it around the rest of my face just to make sure, you know, it all blends together and everything is set so I don't get any weird, you know, tugs or anything like that when I go in with bronzers. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna spray this to set this phase of makeup. Now, I don't do this every day, but when I really want this foundation to like last a long time and to really lock in like this stage of the game, I will set this, let that dry, go in with blush, highlight, contour, eyes, all of that, and then I'll set the entire face again with a setting spray. I love the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Long Lasting Matte Finish Setting Spray. They do have a hydrating one as well, but since, again, I'm oily, how many times have I said that in this video? I like to use the matte one. You do want to shake it up a little bit though, or you might get a little bit of some white dots. So I like to shake it up really well and then just spritz the face. Now it looks like I was spraying a lot, but this sprayer on this is so fine that like I really wasn't spraying a lot at all. Alright guys, so I ended up changing my outfit because I just was not feeling that plaid today. But on my eyes, I have the original Loreal Mega Pro. This is available again on Loreal's website. I did do an Instagram story about me buying this, so go follow me on Instagram if you have it. It's down below. This was like half off recently, and so I bought it because I've always wanted it and I never had it. And now I have all 4 Mega Pros. So I have that on my eyes today, and then I did just a little bit of the Essence pencil liner, the everlasting one in But First Espresso, just because I didn't want to do a thick liner today. I was like, this eyeshadow is just so beautiful, I don't want to mess with it. And then on my cheeks, I have the blush kit from Anastasia. I found this for like 10 bucks at Marshall's. This is in the one in Radiant, and I'm just wearing this shade down below. For highlight, I have a couple things from LA Colors. I have this crayon on first, and then I have this one up here from the contour palette. And there goes a couple other products. And then, oh, lips. I have the Wet n Wild lip liner in Lay Down the Mauves with the Flower Beauty Galaxy Glaze Holographic Lip in Solstice on my lips today. So yeah, so that is it for my full coverage foundation routine, you guys. I feel like I look good, I look matte, I don't look overly powdery, overly cakey, nothing like that. So if you have oily skin, definitely check out some of these products. I love all of these products individually, but together it is like the best foundation, concealer, powder, primer, cocktail. It is so good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and again, follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter and Snapchat. All of that is down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and share it with your friends, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye. I just hit myself in the face.